Oh, baseball. Oh, Rob Manfred, you did it again. You buried your product where nobody could find it. Nice job. You nailed it. Way to go, champ. It's only the biggest star in the game on the biggest team in the game right now, opening up the new season. Why would you ever want a large audience for that? Hey, before we go any further, remember to subscribe to this channel. That way you're notified when we have new videos up and when we go live on Sunday nights. It's Watch TA Live right here on YouTube every Sunday evening at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Okay, before we go any further, let's just establish this. Shohei Ohtani needs to be showcased as much as anybody in any sport in North America right now. Baseball has struggled to have an audience build, especially a young audience, for decades now. Watch the ratings dating back to the 90s to where we are with the All-Star Game and the World Series, the two jewel events of Major League Baseball, and they steadily go down year by year by year. Shohei Ohtani does things that nobody else has ever done at this level. There's nobody like this in professional sports. And yet, here's Major League Baseball in his first regular season, meaningful game with his new team, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the game is played on a different continent in the middle of the night. Perfect. On Wednesday, I show up to my job at SiriusXM Radio to host a morning show beginning at 6 a.m. And we sit down in the control room at 5:45 a.m., and there's ESPN broadcasting pregame ceremonies. And all of us who work in sports talk radio, all of us who work at an all-sports channel within a company that broadcasts baseball games, looked up and said, is this regular season? Wasn't this next week when the rest of Major League Baseball also opened up? Oh, no, let's do this a full week ahead. In baseball's infinite wisdom, we're going to play a 2-game series in Seoul, Korea, more than a week before the rest of the league opens. And the Dodgers and Padres will return home after this series and go back to playing exhibition games, spring trading games, and then they'll open up a second time next weekend. Makes sense, doesn't it? If you're confused, don't worry, because most of my listeners were as well. The fact is, no sport hinders its own marketing, misses opportunities left and right for its own promotion, quite like Major League Baseball. Because let's think about the impact of this day. Maybe you're a casual baseball fan. Maybe you're not even a baseball fan, but you've heard of Shohei Ohtani. And since he's been in the league, he's been placed inside Baseball Witness Relocation Program in Anaheim. Hasn't even played in a playoff game yet. So here he is signing a massive, monster, game-changing contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers, a mainstay of the postseason, Kings of the National League West, a team that competes for the World Series every single year with a star-studded lineup on its own. And they add Shohei? Who wouldn't want to see this? Where can we see him for the first time compete with the Dodger Blue on? In the middle of the night? If you're not a hardcore baseball fan, were you aware that this was happening? And if you're not a hardcore baseball fan, were you tuning in at 6 a.m. Eastern Time? Or better yet, if you're on the West Coast as either a Dodgers or a Padres fan, are you either staying up throughout the entire night because this game started at 3 a.m. local, or are you setting your alarm for 3 a.m. local time, watching a baseball game, and then going to work after that? What you're trying to do is make your best product, your most enticing game or star or team, accessible to fans that might not go digging for it. And where are you going to stumble into new fans? By playing a game at 3 a.m. in the morning. I get it. You want to establish a toehold in South Korea, where obviously baseball is huge. But you're also trying to sell Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers to your new fans in Los Angeles and the fans that will attend Dodgers games here in the States. And nobody stateside was going to run into this game unless they had insomnia and were plowing through another pint of Ben & Jerry's. You wouldn't believe how many listeners and followers I had on social media saying, there's a game on right now? I had no idea. Is this regular season? Everybody was confused. But of course, there's the baseball know-it-alls. DA, don't you know? They put out the schedule last summer. This was well before Shohei signed with the Dodgers, you buffoon. Yeah, I know. Part of the problem. Think about how absurd this is. This is the biggest star of the sport, a transcendent athlete who is switching cross-town teams from one that never gets airtime to one that always gets airtime. Let's just go ahead and say that the best quarterback in football, Patrick Mahomes, had signed a deal with the biggest brand in football, the Dallas Cowboys. And the NFL had already put out the schedule the season before that transaction happened, and had the Dallas Cowboys opening up in Germany in late August. Why baseball feels the need, when all of the other sports don't need to do this, of scheduling their next season during their previous season is anybody's guess. You could say, well, there's a lot of games. There's a lot of logistics. They're all baseball-only ballparks. Come on. Nobody's sharing stadiums like they used to in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Here's what the NFL does. They wait to see who wins the Super Bowl. They wait to see who's drafted where, and then they put out the schedule saying these are tasty matchups. These will draw the most attention. Let's put these in prime time. They wouldn't put out the schedule the year before, and yet baseball, in its infinite wisdom, doesn't even wait to see who wins the World Series, who might be interesting playoff rematches the next year, or, in this case, where the biggest stars in baseball sign to perhaps maximize that attention. No. Maximize? Baseball? Maximize? And before you say, oh, you just don't know baseball, DA, you're a football guy that hates the game anyway, I got the scars to prove it. I've got 88 against the Dodgers. I've got the Bobby Bowe signing. I've got 99 against the Braves. I've got 2,000 against the Yankees. I have 06 and Carlos Beltran striking out looking. I got Matt Harvey in 2015 of the World Series, a game I was at. I got season tickets to this team. I wear scars every day, and I build new ones every season. I love baseball, but I also can admit when baseball's a bunch of idiots. Hey, guess what? Fans want to see Shohei Ohtani in his new duds with his new team, and they want to see it when they can actually sit down and enjoy it. And doing that in the middle of the night, in the middle of the week, a week before the rest of opening day is a miss. A big miss. Hey, before you go, make sure you subscribe to this channel by hitting this button right on next to me. That way you'll be notified when there's brand new videos out, deep dives like this, and when we go live and watch DA live. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm DA, Damon Amendolara. We'll see you next time.